Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm T with Teresa H Creates, and today is the first video for our December daily prompt series. This is the prompt that was selected for December 1st. So I went to my stash and pulled out my Snowflake stuff. And let me show you what I'm working with. So I have this nice glitter paper. This is diamond glitter cardstock from the stamp market. I have this fantastic large stamp from Pinkfresh Studio. It's called Folk Snowflake. And then I also have this coordinating layered die set for it. Then I also found this snowflake cover plate in my stash. So I did go ahead and run that through because I wanted to see what that looked like, and I hope that it's coming through. So it pierces the paper. And because this said Folk Snowflake, and I felt like this had kind of a folk feel to it, I decided to go ahead and go with that. So this is what I will be using today. Let's go ahead and find our page that we'll be working with. I didn't want to go in order because I wanted to be able to go through and find a page that I felt would coordinate with my theme the best. And I think that I found it. Yep. Okay. It is going to be this page right here. I think that looks like snowfall, and we're going to use that. Perfect. So my thought is I'm going to go ahead and lay this out, and I wanted that to be like my background piece. That large snowflake, though, is going to be my focal point. But there is a technique that I wanted to show you guys. This is not a technique that I came up with. This is something that I saw demonstrated by Jennifer McGuire several years ago when I'd signed up for a Pinkfresh Studio. It was this card making course. She was one of the instructors, the demonstrators, and she showed us something that I had never seen before in all the years that I have been doing this. And then I promptly forgot it. And it wasn't until I started going through my stuff and found this snowflake again that I was like, I'm going to show you guys this. We are going to ink up this glitter paper. And this glitter paper is called Diamond Glitter Cardstock. It is from the stamp market. And I did check before I started recording. It is currently out of stock. I did go ahead and put my email address in to get a notification when they're back in stock, because I think that I'm going to be using it again. Plus, this is all I have left of it. This is it. It came with the kit because they coordinated on some of the classes. And so that's all I have left. All right. Now I am going to go ahead and pick my colors. I did pull out some of my Distress Oxides, but I kind of want to get a page here. Okay, let's use this as our inspiration page. I am thinking worn lipstick. I have 3 layers, so I can do 3 colors. I'm thinking definitely this cracked pistachio. I think that's a little too green. That abandoned coral might look good. I might want something a little bit more red. I don't think I want purple. I don't think that I'm going to go the blue route. Here's the turquoise. So I've got peacock feathers, but I really think that cracked pistachio is probably going to be my best bet on this. All right. So maybe these colors here. Or should I do a festive berries? Let me see. I might bring in that red and do a festive berries. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a festive berries. Okay, I've got it now. So in her class, this is what Jennifer McGuire demonstrated for us. The stencil is from Pinkfresh Studio. Let me show you the back of the stencil set so you can see what we're looking with. So that's what it's supposed to look like, the layered stencil, so that you can do three separate colors, and that's what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do it on this glitter paper. And I didn't realize glitter paper would take up ink the way it does, and I absolutely loved it. So we're going to do it here because I thought maybe you guys would be interested in this too. It opens up a whole new world of possibilities, I think. All right, let's go with the cracked pistachio. That'll be my base color. And I've got my brushes. I really should tape this down, or at least pull out one of my sticky mats and hold this down, but I'm just going to apply pressure with my fingers to hold this stencil in place, which I might regret at some point because it might move around on me, but like just then. But this is how I'm going to do it. This is the way I did it for years before all the fancy tools came out, and look at that. Isn't that pretty? How pretty is that? If you guys have seen this done before, let me know. I had not seen this prior to a couple of years ago. And again, it's Jennifer McGuire. I also do a lot of card making, and it was a card making course. And so that's why I was taking it. I do like my card making still. All right, now let's go in with the worn lipstick. Do I want to do worn lipstick here? I think I want to do the darker color. Let's go Festive Berry on this. And then I'll do the warm lipstick. Let me grab my nasty microfiber cloth. When I'm working with these oxides, I tend to share the brushes with light colors. So all the reds, all the pinks, all the blues, all the greens, etc. And then sometimes the colors are a little bit darker than other shades. So I always try to just give it a good wipe before I use it, so that I can get as much excess ink from the previous color off. Oh, there I go, slipping again. This is why these tools were created, to hold your stencils in place, the ones that I'm not using. Oh my gosh, so pretty. Okay. And then the last stencil, I'll clean the stencils off later. We're not going to mess with them now. Is going to be worn lipstick. So let's get this lined up. I think that is it. It does have the little corners. So if you were using one of those nice little mats, you'd be able to line it up perfectly. All right, make sure that's cleanish. And then go in with the worn lipstick. I want to get this color in there pretty good. I don't really have anything to journal about. As I predicted, December 1st really wasn't eventful. It was a work day. It was fairly quiet. All right, I'm going to get a little bit more on this side, a little bit up here, and then big reveal. How pretty is that? So pretty. And the thing about it is that it still has that shimmer. That shimmer did not get knocked back at all. So it still shimmers. Okay, and now this has a die. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, and then I will be right back. I did use a bit of mint tape to hold this in place. So let's go in for the big reveal. Pop this guy out. Oh my goodness, it is so pretty. And now I've got all of that shimmer still from the glitter. And then I've got this absolutely beautiful color. Let me show you that up close. And look at that shimmer. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. So I know that not everybody has this particular glitter cardstock in your stash. I only have these few pieces that I showed you. I'm hoping that I can get more. So I did run a couple of tests before doing this on some other glitter papers that I have. This is one of those where the glitter isn't chunky. It's down. Like I can feel it as a texture, but it's down, like it's not coming off. I'm not getting any glitter. It's down really well. So I did go to my stash. I did pull out some very similar feeling silver glitter cardstock that I had. I don't know what brand this is. It's probably a Michael's or a Park Lane, like a Recollections. And then I pulled out this glitter paper. This is a DCWV. This is just a 6x6, and it was the rose gold solids, but it has this rose gold glitter in here. And so I pulled that one out as well. And this one is a real fine glitter, and it doesn't come off it either. I would recommend not using a glitter that's really chunky because it might mess up your brush. So I wouldn't use anything that's really rough or chunky, and I wouldn't use any of the glitter paper that tends to lose a lot of the glitter. You know what I mean, where everything's shiny when you're done. So I wouldn't recommend those, but I did use these two, and then let me show you how those turned out. And I used different colors with those. So here is the silver one. See that? And then this is the rose gold. I thought that looked really pretty. And the colors I used with that, let me see if I can get this right. I think with the silver one, I used the Wilted Violet, the Chipped Sapphire, and then the Blueprint Sketch. And then for the rose gold, I used Aged Mahogany, Pine Needles. I believe that red color, the lighter red, yep, it was the Lumberjack Plaid. The class that I took where this was demonstrated, they were using the Pinkfresh inks. So I think that you can use whatever inks you have on hand. You don't have to go out and get the Distress Oxides. When I took the course though, I didn't have the Pinkfresh inks. So I used what I had on hand. They gave us a list of the colors. I looked up the colors and tried to match as closely to what I had on hand, and I ended up using my Distress Oxides and it worked fine. So point is, you don't have to have this glitter paper and you don't have to have these particular inks. Any inks that you have in your stash that you use for stenciling or ink blending should work fine. And you don't even have to have the layered stencil if you wanted to do, you know, a solid piece or whatever. Flowers would be so pretty with this technique. Poinsettias, because again, you can see all the shimmer still on these. So anyway, I thought you guys might enjoy seeing that. Let's get back to our project. Let me set this aside. I apologize for my voice. I don't know what's going on. I'm not sick. I feel completely fine. And the last couple of days though, my voice has just been going in and out. I don't have a sore throat, nothing like that. I hope it doesn't mean that I am coming down with something. But like I said, it's been a couple of days and nothing yet. So I think I want to go ahead and round my corners. And I decided that I wasn't going to ink edges, so I'm just going to leave this plain. But I wanted something, you know, that was going to break up the background, and then we'd be able to put our lovely snowflake in the center here as a nice focal point. How pretty is that? Okay, I'm really, really happy about the way this turned out. Now that I have it on here though, I didn't have anything to journal about, but I almost think that I might use this as a journaling pocket. Let me see what I've got. If I have something in here that I think might just coordinate really well, then I'll use it. If not, then we'll just skip it. I don't think, no. Mix and a mingle, that's a maybe. I really was looking for something kind of snowflakey though. Oh, that's Christmas tree. That would have been cute. Those are kind of little. Doesn't look like it. Let it snow. Okay. We're going to do that. And I said nothing exciting happened on the 1st, but you know what? We started our December daily, so I can always journal about December daily. And then what if I leave this open and just use it kind of like as a little tuck? Let's do that. Okay, this has those holes in it now. So I'm going to glue the snowflake onto the paper first because I don't want that adhesive to leak through. I am going to use my wet glue here. Just get this stuck down. All right, let me make sure that this is even so I'm not terribly crooked when I put it down. I say that and then I'm kind of all over the place. Looks good. Let me go ahead and put glue on this because I just want to use it as a tuck. So I'm going to go on the side and then on the bottom. And then pop that down right in the center. I had some enamel dots. I wonder if we should bling it up a little bit with some of the enamel dots or not. We could put one maybe right in the center. That's kind of light. We could do one of those orangey ones. Or we can just do one of the cute little pink ones. Let's do one of the cute little pink ones. And then this will slide right in here. And then I do want some sort of sentiment. Let's see what we've got here. It says, winter greetings, let it snow, warmest wishes. Let's go with the let it snow. Oh, and that's what's on. You know what? That was not on purpose. Sometimes I get lucky. That is what is on our journaling card. Okay, and then I've got coordinating dies. And that one is the Let It Snow. All right, let me get my block. I'm using VersaFine. And the Onyx Black. I'm going to give it 2 stamps just in case I don't quite get it right when I do the die cutting here. Get some mint tape to hold it down. All right, let me run this through my die cutting machine and I'll be right back. Oh, look, I got a good cut first time. Imagine that. All right, I'll clean up my stamps later. Let's get this out. I can put it right down here. That kind of just blends in too much for me. Let's see what else we've got. I go to my scrap papers and see what I might be able to put behind it. Do I have the coordinating paper for that page? I don't know that I have any coordinating paper for that page. That may be the one that I used all the paper for because I ended up folding up the bottoms. Well, I like this kind of solid here. Let me go ahead and die cut that shape out of that. All right, and then I'll keep this because I can always cover that up, put something in between there. Let's see, I thought maybe I could do it a little bit offset and get a shadow. These reverse tweezers come in handy for all this little detail work. Let me put it a little bit off center. Going slightly up and over. And then there we go. We've got a little bit. It might be hard to see, but I can put it right down here. There we go. That's a little better. Perfect. Oh, I love it. Okay, now all we have to do now is come up with a number. So I was going to die cut numbers for my project, but then I ended up picking up these chipboard bits. And these are $49 in Market. It's the Vicky Bouton collection. It's Mistletoe and Memories, but it's 3 sets of 1 through 31 numbers. So I thought surely one of these would work, right? And I could use this. So I'm kind of thinking, I mean, I really like this with the nice bold and the black, but I kind of think that it's going to be too much. You know, by the time we're at the end. Let me see, I've got a tab here. I could always do tabs and then put the number on the tabs. I actually kind of like that. I think that's how I'm going to do mine. Of course, this does cause a problem if I want to put any lace or anything on the edges, but you know what? I'll cross that bridge when I get to it because I do kind of like that. Let me get this glued up. Guess. And it doesn't have to be at the top. I can put it anywhere, literally. I'm just going to start right in the center. Well, that is not a good spot for it. I've got a pocket on the other side. And has it been glued down? It has been glued down. Well, I should have looked front and back. Let my mistake be a lesson to everyone. Always check front and back before you put a tab on. Okay, that is good. This is good. I need to find a 1. one. All right, these are chipboard and this can start getting bulky, so I'm going to go ahead and thin it up. There we go. Can remove most of the backing off of that. And then I'll be able to put the numbers on the front and back. And now I've got this that I have to deal with. Let me see if my adhesive eraser will get that off. Might be a little bit too much. It's looking like it is a bit too much. What can we do? Okay, I got it. This is what I'm going to do. I've got some little snowflakes here. I'm going to go ahead and cut out some more out of this that I can place around to decorate, and we'll just cover it up. So let me run this through the die cutting machine. A few of these have the little centers still attached. So I'm going to weed those out. All right, I went ahead and cut 5. I don't know if I'm going to use 3 or if I'm going to use 5. We'll place them and see. So never give up. There's always a fix if you make a mistake. There we go. And I'm thinking, let me pull that out. Thinking of maybe just doing like a little half and trimming that up like that. That's definitely going there, so I'm just going to go ahead and place it. All right. Let's see, we'll put one down here. Try to get all the big spots. That's a cute little snowflake. Do one up here. So too many down at the bottom. All right, and this one up here, and then we'll just trim our little snowflake there off the edge. And then I think we can call this done. This was going to go in just a little bit. There we go. We'll give this little guy a trim. And there we go. We fixed it. And now that page looks a little fuller. So that was actually a happy accident because that looks a lot better, I think. All right, perfect. Yay. Day 1 down. This is the branding sheet. And I am going to use it to hold all the prompts as we go along. I'm going to attach them to the branding sheet because it's actually super thin paper, so then I'll be able to fold this up at the end and keep it in like in one of my pockets or something. All right. Let's go ahead and draw. The next video will be on Friday, the 5th. So let's draw for the 2nd. Poinsettia. We'll do 12, 2. And then the 3rd is going to be mug of cocoa and cookies. And then 12, 4. We do one more. Yep. And then I'll record next video Friday. Let's take a look. Cookies for Santa. And if you don't want to do and cookies, you could just do, you know, mug of cocoa. It is fine to take liberties. This is your journal. The prompts are just suggestions, so however you want to interpret them is totally fine. And if you don't like the prompt and you want to do something completely different, then do something completely different. The point is that we are going to be creative throughout the month of December. We're going to stretch our imaginations just a little bit, right? And we're going to get our December recorded. There we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and fold this up, maybe like a trifold. I think that'll work. And then I can put stuff front and back if I wanted to. So we'll do like a little trifold. Perfect. And then I can keep it right here in the front pocket of my journal. Perfect. All right, Snowflake, our very first prompt, and I will list the other prompts in the description box so that you have all of them. So again, we just finished Snowflake. Let's do poinsettia on the 2nd, mug of cocoa and or cookies for the 3rd, and then cookies for Santa on the 4th. If you are creating in your December daily, please don't forget to post pictures and comment on others' pictures in the community tab. I'd really love to see what you guys are doing with your prompts and your journals. If you have any comments or questions, just put them down in the comment section. I'll be sure to respond. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, bye.